you on it? Okay. Bunch of try to do like and then find out what's exactly. So, here, just say this. Just scroll at the bottom right now. Say the front one too. Yeah?
You gave somebody sweet, bro.
No, that's Randy's. Just read it.
Good evening. Good evenings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard USS.
Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard USS. Into the future. That's right, we're beaming straight to the year 2050. Now, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard USS IC.stars. Before we begin, I need you all to prepare yourselves because tonight we're not
Michael and Roger Ebert on a 6-inch black and white TV, believing that one day he too would win an Oscar. But between that boy and the man on this stage, there was a long, uneven road. There were nights staring at homework he couldn't make sense of, the days pretending he understood just to avoid ridicule. There were part time jobs, barely covered food, stretches of homelessness, and more than a moment of giving up, and more than a moment, and more than one moment where giving up seemed easier than going on. People laughed at the size of his dreams, and they tried to convince him to shrink them. Then came the moment everything changed. I realized I had to stop asking and start making. That if that if I didn't have a plan for myself, there were plenty of others who had a plan for me, and that I might not like where that plan ended up. That thought lit a fire that I that I've carried ever since. I became an entrepreneur, but not overnight. First came failures. Website that crashed, apps that no one downloaded, pitches met with polite pitches met with polite rejection. But every failure taught me how to pivot, how to listen, and how to make something people truly loved. And then came the first big and then came the first big win. Watching one of my ads hit number one on the charts, seeing the downloads climb into the millions, knowing it had started with nothing but an idea and stubborn persistence. From there came a digital media empire, expanding into pharmaceuticals to bring affordable medicine to underserved communities, and banking designed for people the system had overlooked. Never stopping, indeed. What's this man's secret? Two things: imagination and resilience. A willingness to dream boldly, to build on his dreams, to get up after being knocked down, and to keep turning those dreams into reality, no matter how battered the dreamer becomes. And I will continue to be some guy going forward, but a guy with a mission. Some of you here know the weight of debt. That's why it's that's why it steals your sleep, your peace, your future. I plan to help millions escape that weight, not just by telling them it's possible, but by building the tools to make it possible. Launching a nonprofit that buys and forgives housing debt for struggling families, offering free financial literacy programs, creating zero interest microloan systems, and partnering with credit unions to reform predatory lending practices. I see debt as a form of modern day slavery, and I aim to break those chains. So when they ask me in another 25 years, who is this decade's some guy? I smile right back and say, still me, but with a few million more friends who made it out with me. Thank you for your time, and I leave you with the words that inspire me. Pain is your friend, your ally. It will tell you when you are seriously injured. It will keep you awake, keep you angry, or remind you to finish the job and get the hell home. But you know what the best thing about pain? It lets you know you're still alive.
Awesome. Some of those songs you can't help yourself with. So my next colleague is consistent. She envisions bold possibilities and inspires others to see beyond limitations, turning imagination into motivation. I'd like to introduce you all to my colleague, Caitlin Vargas, the dreamer.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. It is my pleasure to be standing here accepting this Dreamer Award. With many years of hard work and dedication, I earned this award. I stood true to my vision, used my creative thinking, and was credible in both my work and art. I was also a strong, empathetic leader. I didn't just dream, I built and created. Every long night, every jam packed day, every sacrifice, every step, I was fuel on ambition and resilience. There was a moment when my vision was called unrealistic, and I'd get told, "Don't aim so high, you're wasting your time, you can't do it." But deep down in my heart, I knew I was here for a greater purpose. I doubled down, worked harder, and proved that what they said I couldn't do, I definitely could do. As Lala Anthony says, don't wait for a door to open, build your own damn door. From that point on, I built my own door. I'll never forget the day I got told, "You think too big," like it was a flaw. But I learned that thinking small never makes any change. So instead of shrinking and abandoning my great ideas, I let them take up space. And that so-called too big idea, it opened doors for me that playing safe never could. There came a point when I had to make a choice, listen to the noise around me or listen to myself. Everyone had an opinion, but I realized something. Playing small to make others comfortable would cost me everything. So instead of shrinking, I chose to invest in myself. I poured into my growth, my vision, and my purpose. And that decision changed the entire trajectory of my life. I knew I was going to be somebody. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I knew I had to keep pushing, as Taraji P. Henson say. Lastly, I would like to thank my mom. She couldn't be here today because she's busy being the best grandma, but I'm so thankful for the support you give me and how much you help with Luna. It means the world for me. I love you.
So thank you for that. Open your own damn door. And it may hurt, but we're still alive, right? Like these are some powerful words and remarks. Hey, for our next colleague, I just want you all to know something about this guy. He approaches everything with determination. He struggles with procrastination sometimes, but he always pulls through. He always approaches things with a calm demeanor, uncovering solutions that other people often overlook. That's why it doesn't surprise me that Wanda Muggin Myers is receiving the Excellence in Problem Solving Award. Welcome, Wandy.
Hello. I want to start by saying thank you for the Excellence in Problem Solving Award. This recognition means the world to me. I am especially grateful to my parents who have been the greatest support throughout my journey. Without your belief in me and the opportunities you've given me, I would have achieved even a fraction of success I have today. Your unwavering encouragement is a quality I hope to one day pass to my own children. I am eternally grateful to have you as my parents and role models. I also want to I also want to give a special thank you to my tech trainer, Jonathan. His guidance, patience, and belief in my potential played a huge role in my success. He didn't just teach me technical skills, he taught me how to think critically, adapt to challenges, and approach problems with creativity and confidence. My journey after i.c.stars was just the beginning of many I would take. After commencement, I was fortunate to join a wonderful company where I grew as a junior developer, honing my skills, building my confidence, and developing as a person. Eventually, I pursued my goal of becoming a senior developer. This position was challenging. I can still recall one project vividly. I have been working for an entire quarter on an app, only to learn due to a misunderstanding of requirements that I would have to reconfigure the entire backend. While my manager while my manager never said this could cost my job, the air felt heavy with unspoken pressure. For a moment, I thought, well, it is what it is. But then I reminded myself, it is what I make it. I rolled up my sleeves, dug in, and turned what felt like an impossible situation into one of my proudest achievements. These moments taught me that life and success are what we make of them. Even though I loved working at that company, there came a time that I felt a pull to take on a new challenge. That's when I stepped into the unpredictable world of freelancing. This was one of the most demanding and difficult things I've ever done. Suddenly, everything was on clients, securing projects, meeting deadlines, negotiating prices, building my brand from ground up. I remember sitting at my desk late at night with three proposals proposals to finish, a deadline looming, and a quiet question in the back of my mind: can I really make this work? There were failures. There were moments I considered returning to a company for stability, but I kept going. I learned to adapt, to sell my skills, and run a small business. Today, I'm proud to have multiple clients and projects I truly care about. More importantly, I carry with me the lessons that each challenge, whether in corporate role or my own, has taught me: perseverance, adaptability, and belief that no matter the obstacles, it's always where we make it. And for that, I will always be thankful to my parents and Jonathan and to everyone who believed in me. I'll, le- I'll leave you tonight with inspiring words of Nikola Tesla. Life is and will remain an equation incapable of solution, but contains a certain known factors. Thank you.
Thank you. Man, the golden nuggets that they're dropping out there, right? Like you can say it is what it is. How many times have we had those "it is what it is" moments? But then when we realize it is what we make, that's really powerful. Thank you for that, Wendy. This next person, Lord have mercy, it's so powerful. Have you ever met somebody and you see them clear as day, and they don't even realize how powerful they are? This person uses creativity to tackle social justice issues, lending advocacy and practical strategies to make a real world. It does not surprise me that Maddie Smith is receiving the Social Justice Innovation Award. Maddie, welcome home. Very nice to know I was smart, so I didn't take my 40 breath.
Um, so it is an honor to be here with you all today as I accept this Social Justice Innovation Award. This awards program recognizes entrepreneurs who leverage innovative technology and digital strategies to address complex social problems and drive systemic change. Through this, Century Tech Foundation, supported by Morgan Stanley, allows us to accelerate ideas that center people and communities to spread inclusion and positivity across the country. It is through continued learning about people and technology that I'm able to accept this award. Since completing my first tech bootcamp in 2025, I've moved to promote inclusivity in tech spaces, particularly for users and employees with disabilities. Throughout my career until today in 2050, my mission has been to see those who are left unseen and ensure they know that they are not alone. In my life, I've struggled with both physical and mental health, and those challenges have driven how I move in different spaces. That saying, "it can always happen to you," wasn't something I thought much about until the challenges I'd never expected would happen to me kept happening to me. I decided to be consistent in moving with the openness that it could happen to me, so I should do my part in putting systems in to protect not only my future self, but people who already face these challenges. Oh, pain. Experiencing these challenges in life and meeting people from all walks of life opened my mind to how I can personally protect myself and others from them. My journey was nonlinear. I graduated with a bachelor's in video game art from Columbia College Chicago, and about a year later, I landed a job as a project associate for their TRIO student support service. At 23 years old, TRIO was the first time I really felt fulfilled by the work that I was doing. It's a government-funded program that supports students who are first generation, have disabilities, and or are from lower income households. They shared their struggles, and I was able to share mine. Their vulnerability made me angry for them. Difficult systems, misunderstandings, and a general lack of awareness for people from diverse backgrounds reinforced my passion for systemic change. Working at a college, I was able to take a class for UX UI design, and it was the perfect new medium for me to work towards that mission of making life a little bit more accessible for people. While I was fueled by the work I was able to do for such a strong and loving community, the paycheck and need to prove myself led me to take 2 back-to-back contract roles at a top law firm before moving to a full-time role at another firm. I was hungry for progress, but I struggled with the culture. In June 2024, my health became a major barrier for me. It was tough on my body, embarrassing, infuriating, and distracting. Medical software and automated answering systems made getting simple healthcare nearly impossible, and my passion for designing creative, accessible solutions was reinvigorated. With a new perspective and frustration at the current state of accessibility in the US, I developed a passion for inclusion and eventually applied to a tech bootcamp with ambitions of becoming a user experience designer. After completing it in 2025, this i.c.stars program, I had the tools to identify user problems and build applications that prioritize inclusivity and accessibility. Once I graduated, I took my first steps into the tech industry as a junior developer. I moved to become a UX designer where I was more fully involved in user research. From there, I was able to take my increasingly diverse experiences and make my way up to lead innovative and inclusive solutions for corporations as a digital accessibility manager. It is through continued learning about people and technology that I'm able to accept this award. It is through continued learning about people and technology that I am able to utilize this award. New faces invite new challenges and opportunities. This Social Justice Innovation Award will be used to continue conducting meaningful user research to create thoughtful solutions that empower businesses to be more inclusive and empower individuals to work on adding their own solutions to the mix. My support system was a steady foundation that allowed this outcome. Thank my parents for providing me with a haven to grow in and teaching me to love and accept love. I thank my childhood best friend for being my cheerleader while I worked to make this happen. I thank i.c.stars for providing the foundational knowledge, skills, and direction it took to get here. I thank my alma mater, Columbia College Chicago, for invigorating my passion for learning and providing a career opportunity that allowed me to connect with so many unique identities, backgrounds, and aspirations. Finally, I'd like to thank all of you here today for your commitment to innovation and social justice. Your thoughtfulness and empathy are what brings the world together, and I'm honored to continue this work. I'm only crying because it's sweet. Like, it's a sweet.
Whew. I mean, I don't know if y'all caught that word that she used. She's trying to work for systemic change. And systemic change is in the way that things hit the system. It's like a virus that touches everything that it owns, right? And if you don't get it at the root, we just are doomed to continue to deal with the symptoms. So thank you. Thank you for your work, Maddie. Awesome. Now, this next leader is a runner. This guy is a runner. I remember 25 years ago working with him and him trying to get to his internship on time and running through an alley to get here. So I know that he can run. So my colleague here, he leads vision and precision. He navigates fast-paced fintech landscapes as though he's been running companies for years. He makes what others struggle with look so easy and smooth. I want to welcome onto the platform my colleague, Chris Obiamani.
Thank you, Brandies. Thank you guys for being here today. My name is Prince, and I'm here to accept the award for FinTech CEO 2050. I accept this award with honor and gratitude. I'm humbled by the decision of this committee to have been selected for this award. Some 30 years ago, I took a leap of faith. I walked away from everything I had built and identified with in Ghana to relocate to the United States. I was hopeful, afraid, all in the same vein. One thing was certain to me. I knew if I worked hard, something better was possible, not just for me, but the community back home in Ghana that shaped me. Those early years were tough, very tough. Battling immigration issues, cultural readjustment, the loneliness of leaving everything that you once loved behind, the dangerous act of balancing fatherhood with ambition stretched me far beyond my imaginable limits. I remember days at i.c.stars when I had to budget for 14 weeks with $1,400 a month, and my rent alone with utility was 1,800. I still shed tears when I think about the late nights I spent with my son sleeping right by me, and the moments that I questioned if any of this was worth it. There were times that I nearly gave up, feeling that the odds were simply just too great to overcome. But God was faithful. He never let me go. My father has always been an unyielding pillar of strength for me. He taught me resilience, integrity, and how to stand up for myself even when the world was knocking you down. His voice was always in my head. I thought about quitting, reminding when I thought about his voice was always in my head every time I thought about quitting, reminding me who I am and how far I'd come. My journey from Africa is another story for another day. I want to acknowledge i.c.stars tonight, not just as a program, but as a launching pad that changed my life forever. It gave me more than just technical skills. It offered me a vision of what was possible and a network of people who refused to let me fail. The exposure propelled me into a world of technology and laid the foundation for everything I've achieved since. After commencement, I was favored. I started an entry-level role with a great company where I acquired even more technical knowledge. I stayed at that company until I had some financial stability in my life. And then I decided to follow a calculated path into IT leadership over the next 15 years. I met and collaborated with some good people along the way. And here I am today. It's been a long road. I'm grateful to my team, those brilliant minds who believed in my vision and sometimes were skeptical, but still put their trust in my leadership anyway. This award is a testament to the relentless creativity, courage, and commitment to excellence. I want to especially thank my son. You've been both my reason and my reward. Every sacrifice made was with you in mind, and seeing the person you've become is the greatest success of my life. Nothing on earth will give me this much satisfaction. Nothing. My mission has always been bigger than me, to empower my immigrant community through relevant, accessible education, especially in technology. I want to see young people who look like me know that they belong in these boardrooms, these leadership roles, in these industries shaping our future. I'm an active mentor and a sponsor of i.c.stars currently as a bit to give back and keep the cycle of change running. I volunteer to speak anytime I have the opportunity at our local Boys and Girls Club. And sometimes I'm on long overseas phone calls trying to counsel my little nephews of how to stay on the right path. I represent the oppressed, the underestimated, the unworthy, the poor, the rejected, the racially profiled, the minority, the inner city. I represent the third world, remains of ruin, the underdeveloped, the lower class, broken homes, broken dreams. I represent fathers that took a leap of faith to find better lives for their children, the ones that won't give up until they get what they deserve. I represent hope, new dreams, renewed strength. I'm an evidence of persistence. My dad always used to say, regardless of how it goes down in the jungle, a lion will never eat grass. So carve your destiny with pressure, I'll see you at work on Monday.
Man, I start to feel kind of hyped at the end. And super facts like the lion will not eat grass. I mean, I don't know. This vegan trend is starting to run hard. I don't know. It might hit the lion. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you for that, Prince. My next colleague is a standout. This colleague works tirelessly to advocate for others, showing leadership and resilience. He definitely reflects the best of what America is. This colleague was known most back 5 years ago for being willing to teach and to lend a hand. I'd like to welcome Diego Gonzalez, America's champion.
All right, hello everyone. I'm glad to be with everyone today. Thank you for joining us. It's been a long day, and I won't hold you guys for too long this evening. Growing up, the concept of the American dream was embedded deep within me. Oftentimes, I felt myself to be an outsider in the very country that I was born in. Yet still, I carried a quiet certainty that there was still more to be had. Time and time, again and again, I had to overcome many obstacles, and through resilience, they came and they went, and yet still, I'm here standing in front of you all. It's a great honor to stand in front of you all today, receiving the title of America's champion. Although I earned this award through years of persistent, countless hours of hard work, moments of doubt, and many sleepless nights, the journey was never only about me. It is also about those who came before me, those who, through their merit and volition, lit the torch that today has been passed on to me. Quick story I can tell you all today. I remember growing up, about 7 years old, my father showed me what a man is supposed to be like. Went with him to the park, wanted a bottle of water. He couldn't afford it at that time. But what did he do? He went home that night, cried himself to sleep, overcame that obstacle, and gave me the childhood that a child really deserved. And not only him, my mother worked overnight many years and still every morning woke us up to go to school, made sure we were receiving a proper education. My older brother, he became a second father figure to me and to my little brothers. And thank you to my little brothers as well, my siblings, for dealing with me. Today, it's not just about that, but it's also about proving to myself, the younger me, the one that struggled to believe that dreams can take root in the most unlikely soil and still bloom from their seed. The rose that grew from concrete, word to ant, he likes D Rose, my colleague, been working with him, longtime collaborator. Along the way, I learned the value of lifting others as I climb this mountain we call life. I owe this moment to my family who believed when belief was hard, to my mentors, namely people that I met through this tech program 25 years ago, great experience, still carry it to this day, 25 years later, love it, who challenged me to reach higher every day, every night, be more than I was the day prior. To my peers who lifted me when my steps grew heavy, and to every stranger whose small kindness reminded me that I was not alone. With everyone here as my witness, I promise to continue this journey and to live and help make this dream come true for everyone. This title is not the end of the story. It is merely the introduction of a new chapter and a reminder that I am walking the correct path. I stand here as America's champion, but in this room, I see many more champions. I see champions all across this room today. A stagnant dream becomes a dream deferred, but if shared and nurtured in unison, it grows into something unstoppable. This award is not only for me, but for all of us. And if together we carry this dream, there's absolutely nothing we can overcome. Thank you all for coming, and I won't hold you hostage any longer.
Man, there was so much in that. I mean, before all of a sudden, I was ready to start doing Iraqi. Like I was feeling like I was a champion. So yeah, thank you so much for that, Diego. That was powerful. I'm dreaming of leaving the country, living on a farm with some fating goats. But I think that with the future that you guys are promising us, America might be the place to be. Thank you. All right. So next up, I want to talk about the beauty of a girl who dreams. It turns into a woman with vision. And I really appreciate this woman because from the very start of her career, she secured the doors that we walk through for work, to learn and to serve. And now, fast forward, we get to see who she is now. Jasmine is already building the skills to protect data and people acting as a guardian of the digital future. It doesn't surprise me that she is growing the Future Shield Award. Thank you, Jasmine. Come on up.
Nerves ain't gonna change. Gonna change. But no, good evening, everyone. And thank you to all for being here. I'm honored to receive the Future Shield Award as the Chief Information Security Officer. Over the years, both my empathy and leadership and my critical thinking have helped me to lead many global business to protect integrity and stay adaptable in fast-changing digital world. Prior to this role, I've had a background in public safety and information security. I was able to transfer both those soft skills and hard skills into my roles. To build up my tech skills, I've earned the CISSP and the CRIS certifications. I am now making real world changes by helping business to restore systems using secure backups and defend hospitals, schools, banks, and even governments from digital attacks. This is not only my career, but this is my passion. To help and protect others is what I live for. From an early age, I carried a deep passion for protecting others. I remember my first security role at a downtown building. Long nights spent patrolling empty hallways, making sure everyone who's entered felt safe. One evening, a woman fleeing a dangerous situation came through the doors. She was shaking, scared, and didn't know where to go. I walked her to a safe area, called proper resources, and stayed with her until her help arrived. That night stayed with me, not because of the danger, but because I saw firsthand how protection can restore someone's dignity in the most vulnerable moments. It was the moment I understood that my purpose wasn't just about guarding spaces, it was about safeguarding people's lives. As my career evolved, I realized protection takes many forms. The shift in technology wasn't a depart from my mission, it was a new way to serve it. I remember the first time I was asked with analyzing a cybersecurity branch. The stakes were high. A small nonprofit donor data had been compromised. And the trust they built with the community was on the line. My team and I worked late into the night, tracing the branch, locking down systems, and rebuilding their digital defense. When I called the director to tell her we had secured their network, I heard a relief in her voice that felt just as rewarding as physically walking someone to safety. That moment showed me that whether the threat is physical or digital, the outcome is the same. People deserve to feel secure. This mission has helped not only my career, but also my leadership. 25 years ago, I was an intern at i.c.stars. I've carried that same energy into leading projects and helping my peers. I encourage collaboration because I know safety is never a solo effort. I've shared my stories from both the streets and from the server rooms because I believe leadership is about showing what others was possible when passion meets purpose. I'm gonna reread that again. Because I believe leadership is about showing others what's possible when passion meets purpose. Protection is not just my job, it's who I am. Whether I'm securing a building, a network, or someone's confidence in themselves, I'm fulfilling the same calling to keep people safe, to fight for justice, and to create a world where fear never has the final word. As I'm honored to receive this award, I cannot take all the credit for this amazing career journey of mine. I want to give a shout out to my two sisters, Erica and Precious, um, always upholding me, and treating me as their own. It doesn't matter where I'm from, it's about where I was headed and landed. And as I landed in a place where I could never imagine. Thank you all again. Tonight I leave you with the words from Michelle Obama that inspire me. Don't ever let them make you feel like you don't belong. You belong wherever your brilliance takes you. Thank you again.
Woo! And I gotta get through like this. But I steal from these youth. Awesome. What did Jasmine say? She said leadership is well passion meets purpose. And I'll never forget that. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Jasmine. So my next leader here, they find innovative ways to merge technology with something I think is very important. Food. Listen, as an American, we take for granted sometimes that food is so easily accessible, but it's not that accessible here either. We're listening to CPS announce budget cuts, where they're threatening hot meals for students, where children go to school sometimes and it's only another thing. Thanks to this leader, we know that we'll have an opportunity for technology and agriculture to merge to ensure that our food systems support community needs. This award goes to Ashley Smith for Agritech Humanitarian Impact Award.
Thank you, Brandies. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Your presence means more to me than words can express, and I am truly grateful to share this special moment with you. Today, as I receive the Agritech Humanitarian Impact Award, I am filled with gratitude and humility. This honor is not just a recognition of my work, but a celebration of the power of resilience, community, and faith. My journey has been guided by a simple but profound theme: paying it forward and giving back to the community by creating opportunities for others. But this moment didn't happen overnight. It was a climb filled with lessons, setbacks, and breakthroughs. Back in 2025, I was working in an internship role that gave me insight to how technology could be used to solve real world problems. I started small, volunteering at local food banks, helping with community gardens on weekends, and learning everything I could about sustainable agriculture. I didn't have a roadmap, but I had a vision. Eventually, I transitioned into a role where I could merge my professional skills with passion for food justice. I led initiatives that brought together tech companies, non-for-profits, and local governments. I built partnerships, secured funding, and slowly, the dream began to take shape. What started as a side project grew into a full-scale movement. Receiving this award in the field of agricultural technology is a testament to what can happen when we unite innovation with compassion. Over the years, I've been privileged to bring our city together around the shared goal of ending food security. I'm proudest of the moments when I convinced businesses to invest in community garden spaces. But this endeavor needed more than space. It needed knowledge, tools, and trust. We partnered with agricultural technology companies to introduce sustainable farming methods and teach them to the local residents. We focused on precision agriculture, selecting climate resilient crops that boosted food production, and these efforts transformed empty lots into thriving sources of nourishment and pride. Of course, the road here was not without challenges. I had to overcome self-doubt and the daunting task of convincing others to believe in my vision. There were times when the obstacles felt overwhelming, but I leaned on mentorship and the wisdom of those who had walked this path before me. Their guidance helped me turn setbacks into opportunities for growth. Along the way, I developed life skills that shaped both my career and my character. These skills helped build lasting relationships that fostered trust and collaboration. Gaining technical expertise empowered me to design solutions that truly made a difference. And through leadership, often quiet and behind the scenes, I learned to guide teams and communities with empathy, humility, and a focus on collective success. What keeps me going, even when the work is hard, is the vision of a world where everyone has a fair chance to thrive. And I am driven by the desire to create opportunities for those who are too often overlooked, to help families put healthy food on the table, and to inspire young people to believe in their own potential. I would not be standing here without the unwavering support of my greatest champion, God. He has been my supporter, my confidant, and my rock. Through every challenge and triumph, my faith has been the foundation of my perseverance and purpose. I also want to thank someone who has been instrumental in this journey, my mentor, Jessica. A dear friend, a collaborator whose belief in this mission never wavered. Your encouragement, insight, and partnership have helped bring this vision to life. I hope you'll continue to stand beside me in future efforts and celebrations. Looking to the future, my dream is to use technology to address food deserts across our country. There are so many ways we can help with this reality. My next focus effort will be expanding online grocery platforms and integrating SNAP EBT benefits so everyone can access healthy food. This approach addresses transportation challenges faced by people living in food deserts, making it easier for families to buy fresh and nutritious groceries for home. By working to include SNAP, EBT, and more online stores, I can help ensure that government food assistance stretches further and reaches more people. This solution is practical, scalable, and aligns with the increasing role technology plays in our daily lives. By combining technology, creativity, and compassion, we can transform food deserts into food-secure communities, empowering residents, supporting local businesses, and ensuring healthy food is within everyone's reach. As I close, I'd like to share a quote that inspires me from Anne Frank. Hunger is not a problem, it's an obscenity. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. Let us be mindful that food insecurity is not just someone else's problem, it is a challenge that touches us all. I urge each of you to be proactive, support local food systems, advocate for policies that ensure access to healthy food, reduce waste, volunteer, and educate those around you. Every step brings us closer to a world where everyone has enough. Thank you for believing in my vision. Thank you.
So yeah, I'm not gonna recap part of what she said. I just want to check in with you guys. You heard that call to action, right? Right? That there's something that we can all do as we advocate for those who we continue to pass by on the street. Just need something. Next up is one of my favorite colleagues. Just one of them. I think I got about 15. It was a rare gift. This gift really thanks his mom. And it was 25 years since he first introduced to her how everything that we see in him is a reflection of all that she poured into him. I just want you all to know that he demonstrates a rare blend of creativity, intellect, and bold thinking. I remember when faced with some of the challenges of the internship 25 years ago, he asked a bold question. What do we stand for? Are we just an industrial not-for-profit complex? Or do we really want to change lives? And I'm sure that he does not challenge us with these standards, and he does not challenge himself. That is exactly why he is so worthy of the Genius Grant. stage, Lord Butler.
Start where you are. Arthur Ashe's words guided me since at a time that I felt like I had no resources or options. I learned that community, curiosity, and vision are powerful tools in themselves. The beauty of Black spaces raised me and stays with me in every way possible. I could hear the steady buzz of clippers and the barbershop in synchronization like a symphony. I could see the soft mist of oil sheen rising in beauty salons, flat irons, hot combs, scissors, and pink lotion, mothers with dark and lovely boxes, daughters with just for me boxes. Senior retired Black women transforming their homes into corner house candy stores that function like candy casinos for children who traded coins for sandwich bags of chews, fruities, and the strawberry and lemonade cookies that were really good. And that was at a time when the dollar would go a long, long way. I could smell the smoky scent of fresh barbecue ribs, chicken wings, and links sizzling on the grill at cookouts, at the park, in the backyard, at the lake, on the beach, and even outside of Hustle Man's U-Haul truck on 55th and Garfield underneath the Green Line train station. Jasmine laughed because she know exactly who I'm talking about. ST, you know too. Family reunions where everyone wears the same shirt, where the grown-ups played spades at the folding tables, shooing the kids away with a smile, and still children ran back and forth, daring to linger and to laugh and to steal a glance at the cards and just run back and forth. The sharp chill of the freezer on the hot summer days inside Moo and Unc on 71st and Stony Island, where butchers would come from the back in white coats, dressed like surgeons. And Park District gymnasiums, where all dances of the Black diaspora would come alive, moving through rhythm and time. Grandma's house, that just wasn't Grandma's house. It was my home, because that's where my favorite cousins were. The smell of her sweet potato pies met me at the doorway on Thanksgivings, wrapping you in a warm hug before you can even take off your coat, and a collective hey introducing you to the space. Prom send-offs, bringing out the whole block. The prom dates standing at the top of the porch like royalty. Cameras flashing, proud aunts, and neighbors cheering like it was a red carpet affair. Block parties where every neighbor comes out. Kids riding bikes in the streets where adults watch from their porches. The bouncy houses being the main attraction for the children, and the DJ area being the main attraction for the young adults. A festival of joy. And of course, Washington Park coming alive for the Bud Billington Parade, where drums would beat, floats would float and roll, drill teams drilling, and the footworkers footworking. Some of these Black spaces are still in existence. Some of these spaces are gone, but all of these spaces are sacred. All of these spaces live within me, live within my dream. Oh, talk on the mic. You can't hear me? Oh, bad. Okay. After my i.c.stars commencements in 2025, I began my career as a cultural strategist, blending my background in arts, urban planning, and community engagement with an emerging technological skills in software development, cloud computing, and cybersecurity. This foundation allowed me to approach cultural work with both a creative vision and a technological precision. By 2030, I transitioned into my current role as a cybersecurity cloud architect, designing secure, scalable systems for cultural and educational organizations. This role has allowed me to merge innovative design thinking into robust technical infrastructure, ensuring the spaces I help create are as secure and sustainable as they are inspiring. Also in 2025, I founded Framework, a multidisciplinary studio practice at the intersections of art, culture, design, technology, space shaping, media, and education. Framework functions like a living system, adapting to address the cultural and technological needs of the moment. Our work spans from transforming underutilized buildings into cultural hubs to developing secure digital platforms that connect communities across the globe. That same year, I also started my process into a political career. This fellowship is a shared achievement with my family, mentors, colleagues, i.c.stars, and all of those who have supported me every step of the journey. It will power frameworks next chapter that unite architectural design, cybersecurity infrastructure, and cultural strategy. Arthur Ashe's words still stay with me, and I will continue to start where I am, use what I have, and do what I can. And I've heard you all to do the same. Thank you.
Wow. I mean, he really brought me way back. When I met Mars 25 years ago, I was already about to be a young 43. And I remember those. I call them penny candy cookies. The lemon frosted ones. That factory went out of business. I wish somebody would bring them back. So all of you agri-tech people, yeah, it's technically not healthy, but what's healthy would have a little yeah, like that. Because thank you so much for that, Mars. That was a wonderful reflection. My next leader and colleague is a visionary, of course, a full grown. This woman turns ideas into movements, inspiring lasting change with every project they touch. Don't call her a boss, she just has high executive function. I welcome onto the platform for the Visionary Impact Award, Tori Pro.
Yes, thank you, Brandy, for that introduction. Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry. The music. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Distinguished guests, mentors, family, and friends. I'm truly humbled to stand before you tonight as the recipient of the Visionary Impact Award. Thank you to the Academy of Innovation Leaders for this incredible honor, and a special thanks to Gabrielle Union for organizing this event. Tonight also marks 25 years since my first step into tech with i.c.stars in 2025. When I think about what impact really means, I'm reminded that every step we take, no matter how small, shapes the world around us. That belief has guided me on a journey where deliberate thought creates worlds. So let's go on a journey, not just in ideas, but in the work. In 2025, fresh from i.c.stars, I stepped into a project manager role, leading change management and designing ADHD-friendly workflows that help teams work with their brains, not against them. In the same year, I founded Scattered, a now global data and AI consultancy company, making humane design the standard, not the exception. In 2030, Scatter went global, opening our first international hub in Africa and launching a podcast to share field-tested tools and stories. That same year, we launched community data clinics, free monthly sessions where small orgs left with a working dashboard and a 90-day data roadmap. From 2035 to 2040, we deepened our neighborhood roots. What began as small gardens grew into living classrooms, community-run spaces for healing, land stewardship, and creative enterprise. In 2040, we launched language learning circles, opening wider paths to opportunities, mobility, and connection. Over the years, I followed my heart where innovation meets intentions, using data, AI, and machine learning not just to solve technical puzzles, but to spark transformation in people's lives. At Scatter, we build decision dashboards, predictive models, and automated pipelines, meeting teams where they are and building capacity that lasts. I helped tend the early gardens that grew into those living classrooms. And as an entrepreneur, I built a team of passionate change agents, each one empowered to discover their own purpose and to encourage others to dream without limits. Every line of code I wrote, every seed I planted, and every opportunity I created honored both the human spirit and the possibilities of technology. I'll never forget the night I officially opened Scattered, hit submit, took a deep breath, and whispered, "Thank you." That was when I knew this wasn't just business, it was care and at scale. The road hasn't always been smooth. In the early days of building Scatter, I hit roadblock after roadblock. Late nights fed self-doubt, fear of the unknown clouded my vision, and at times, purpose felt far away. Yet, even in those lonely hours, I grounded myself in the truth that I'm the master of my own reality and that growth lives in the journey. Leaning on a circle of unwavering supporters, friends, mentors, and family, I reminded myself that setbacks are teachers, not stop signs. And when the sun finally broke through, I realized that challenges had forged the resilience I carry with me today. Along the way, I learned that true resilience isn't just bouncing back, it's growing stronger with every challenge. Patience taught me to trust the process. Perseverance turned endurance into meaning when doubt was loudest. Creativity became my compassion for finding new solutions when the old ones failed. Living fully in each moment and still finding room to laugh showed me that work and joy can coexist, fueling one another. And results followed. Teams adopted ADHD-friendly workflows. They missed fewer steps and felt steadier through change. In our gardens, neighbors learned to grow food and grow confidence. Those lessons helped me silence the imposter syndrome and open doors I never imagined, placing me alongside brilliant minds and giving me the chance to uplift entire organizations. I wake up every morning knowing I have the power to make a real difference. Working at the crossroads of data and AI lights me up. Transforming complex problems into positive business outcomes fuels my passion. Every time I help a company deliver more value to their clients or brighten someone's day, I feel pure joy. To me, solving challenges isn't just work, it's uncovering hidden opportunities and turning them into impact. At Scatter, that looks like clear dashboards, honest models, and automated pipelines that free people to do their best work. I'll never forget my friend Tracy, whom I met as if by divine design. When she faced a life-changing career decision, I share how I weave spirituality and emotion into my work, listening for the subtle signs the universe sends. Inspired, she had a vivid dream that illuminated her next steps. And in the weeks, her real-world choices aligned perfectly with that vision. Guiding her through that journey reminded me how spiritual insight and practical action can harmonize to reveal our true purpose. That same harmony guides our teams. We review dashboards in the mornings and still leave room for prayer, breath, and listening, because numbers are maps and spirit is the compass. I stand here today on the shoulders of so many who believed in me before I even believed in myself. First, I honor my spiritual team, my ancestors, whose wisdom and strength guide me when they cannot be seen. They're the silent army behind every step I take. I'm deeply grateful for my dear friend Ayana, whose unwavering encouragement has been a light in the darkest times, and to my brother Mike, who always reminded me my worth when doubt creeps in. And to the countless friends, colleagues, mentors who stay with me through every twist and turn, thank you for your faith, your guidance, and your love. Looking ahead, I see health, education, and entrepreneurship thriving in every neighborhood. We'll scale living classrooms into a global community-owned network. Climate positive hubs pairing fresh foods with apprenticeships, micro grants, and market days that turn skills into incomes and build intergenerational wealth. Through Scatter Fellowships, we'll open community tech labs, paid learning cohorts, and certification tracks in coding, IT, and digital fluency. Community data clinics will grow into a national program with ongoing coaching and compliance ready tools. Our language circles will become multilingual career bridges through local facilitators and employee partnerships. And we'll keep building more labs, more circles, more hubs, more garden hubs, and neighborhood media studios that keep wisdom close so opportunity compounds and will endure across generations. As Abraham Hicks reminds us, once you start deliberately offering thought, you access the energy that create worlds. To me, this means that with focused intention, anything is possible. Even in our toughest moments, our thoughts are the seeds of new reality. Leading with this belief has allowed me to break through barriers, co-create with the universe, and nurture the dream of others. My career is proof. A path from i.c.stars in 2025 to this stage now in 2050. Built one deliberate thought, one deliberate action at a time. Thank you all for sharing this journey with me. Let's keep building gardens, products, companies, and communities. And let's continue to think boldly, act with purpose, and build worlds of possibilities together.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Um, just a reminder about being deliberate. That was a consistent theme. Is that great things come from being deliberate. Anybody ever had a good intention that didn't go where you wanted it to go? That's why being deliberate is a little bit more certain. Thank you for reminding us of that, Tori. All right. So for my next leader, this leader, you can see them clear as day. They're genuine, they're authentic, they're powerful, they are charismatic, and they're exactly the person that you want in the driver's seat when the chips are down. Jocelyn stays locked in on goals, cutting through distractions to deliver with consistency and precision. And she does have a military background, and it's probably one of the smoothest dancers that I've ever seen. Yeah. All right. So, welcome to the stage, Jocelyn, receiving this year's Focus Award. I actually put the upbeat you gave me this. I like it. So, good evening, everybody. I'm glad to be here with all of you all, friends, family, mentors, the leaders that I got to kick it with for 14 weeks, I think it was. But it's funny that it's 25 years later, right? But I'm going to start when I was younger. Okay. So when I was younger, I had like 1,000,001 solutions to everything. I thought I needed fixing. Like I always believed I would achieve those dreams, but time, money often felt like disadvantages, slowing down my process. Still, I kept creating solutions for problems affecting communities already lacking in resources and knowledge. Today, I stand here graciously receiving the Focus Award. This is more than an honor, it's a full circle moment. Growing up, people close to me always supported me, but they always reminded me to slow down and focus, to see one vision fully through. Receiving this reward proves that all those ideas and unfinished plans weren't wasted. They were stepping stones teaching me what is truly meant to commit. Focus isn't about losing creativity, it's about challenging it with intention. What I didn't realize back then was that every delay and every not yet was me preparing for something greater.
I was learning patience, discipline, and how to transform vision into action. That mindset shift me and taught me the impact comes not just from dreaming, but from staying locked into the dream until it becomes real. I joined i.c.stars in 2025 with only one certainty, that I wanted to enter the tech industry. It was one of the best decisions I made of my life. There I built long life friendships, mentors, being challenged to lead, think critically, and then solve real world problems under pressure. i.c.stars didn't just sharpen my technical skills, it shaped me as a teammate, as a leader, and a person of purpose. After graduating, I started a career as a computer technician. I don't know, I like computers. Assembling and troubleshooting systems. I worked tirelessly to grow, taking every chance to build, repair, and understand hardware at its core. Within 2 years, I advanced to a hardware specialty role where I contribute to designing and testing components that power entire infrastructures. My dedication and curiosity pushed me to earn certifications and complete my master's degree in electrical and computer engineering. 6 years later, I achieved my life role, my dream role, which was a hardware engineer. Stepping into the role wasn't just a milestone, it was proof of what is possible when you commit to growth. Every late night of studying circuits, every challenge and early roles, and every moment I chose to learn stacked up to prepare me for this. Today, I engineer solutions that don't just work, they last, they scale, and they make life better for people who use them. What drives me now is creating space for others, especially those from underrepresented communities, to succeed in tech and hardware engineering. Leadership isn't about titles, it's about lifting others up as you climb. My journey from entry level technician to hardware engineer is proof that where you start doesn't define where you'll go. What matters is showing up, staying focused, and never stopping your growth. I thank God for giving me two life skills that made it all possible: ability and agility. Ability, both learn, natural and learned, open doors, but agility keeps you walking through them. Life constantly changes, and agility is a skill that helps you adapt, pivot, and keep moving forward. Together, ability and agility will give the confidence to take risks and then to step into rooms you once only dreamed of. Beyond tech, I pursued another dream: creating access to fitness for my community. Growing up in Roseland, I struggled with weight, and I noticed how few parks had proper exercise equipment. Over the years, I worked to establish 12 free fitness parks across Chicago's South Side and West Side. Collaborating with fitness influencers to spread awareness in Black communities, this wasn't easy. It took research, persistence, and navigating city policies, but it was deeply personal, deeply. These parks aren't just about exercise, they're about health, empowerment, and creating spaces for families and communities to grow together. This journey taught me that giving back isn't about how much you have, it's about how much you're willing to give of yourself. Finally, I stood on the shoulders of my family and mentors, my mother's resilience, my uncles and aunts' wisdom, my grandmother's prayers, and the belief of friends and mentors kept me going when I doubted myself. Their support is a reminder that success isn't just a solo journey. It's a built community, love, accountability. And as I look forward, I'm inspired to pay it forward by mentoring others, supporting communities, and being the same source of strength that others were for me. Because at the end of the day, the true measure of life we live is lived in the impact we leave on others. I'll leave you with a quote from a book I read in 2018. I got it, some of it tattooed on me, so you know. But I'll leave you with a quote from Carol S. Dot, her book Mindset. I proved to myself that how much I can do depends on how much I think I can do. So this award, this moment, and this journey are all reminders that the possibilities are endless when you believe, stay focused, and never stop growing. Thank you, guys.
Hold on. Did I get it right, Jazz? Did I hit it? Oh, these fingers. These fingers are the claps. All right. Yeah, she did. She said what needed to be said. The leadership is not about the titles. It's about who you bring up with you. Right? That's huge in the impact and ability and agility. I mean, you gave so much, you're just giving at this point. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jocelyn. So, my next colleague is a gentle giant. I remember 25 years ago at a casual event of musical chairs. We played a fun game that got aggressive. When our gentle giant reintroduced somebody to the floor, I was more than happy to pick them back up. That's why it doesn't surprise me that Anthony Simmons is winning the Nobel Peace Prize. So Anthony fosters understanding and unity, showing that peace. Come on, Anthony. I can't leave you with throwing people on the floor. That peace is built through compassion, dialogue, and action. Thank you.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to stand before you today and be accepting this Nobel Peace Prize. I want to take a moment to share not just what I've built, but why I built it and the journey that brought me here. It didn't start out, I didn't start out as a CEO or a tech expert. I started out with a dream, one that sounded impossible, but I believed that I could break it down step by step, that I could make the impossible possible. And tonight, I'm here to tell you how that belief shaped my life, my company, and my mission to help shape the future of technology. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm the CEO and founder of a successful software company. Though it hasn't remained just a software company, we've made groundbreaking inventions and developed innovative technologies that have helped accelerate the growth of the world. I pursued an education in the software industry to a level of elite mastery, scaling my company in the process, but I didn't want to stop there. I wanted to be more than just a part of the process of tech. I wanted to shape it entirely. So I began researching and evolving into a polymath, mastering hardware and mathematics alongside my software expertise. That followed me to take on entire projects, not just part of them, and it transformed my company into something far greater than just a software firm. The skill that got me here, the will to never give up. I started this journey simply wanted to be like Batman and Iron Man. As impossible as it sounded, I sat down and wrote out everything I need to accomplish to be like those superheroes. Then I started checking each one off the list. And one quote from Batman that stuck with me through it all is, "It's not who you are underneath, it's what you do that defines you." That line became a guiding principle. It reminded me that dreams alone weren't enough. It was the actions I took, the steps I climbed, and the walls I broke through that truly defined me. It wasn't a linear journey. There were times I got distracted and times I felt like it was impossible, but I broke it down into smaller steps each time. That was my method of making the impossible possible. A major turning point in my journey was my time with i.c.stars. That experience gave me more than just technical skills. It gave me perspective, community, and the confidence to lead. I was surrounded by people who believed in transformation through technology and leadership, and that environment helped me sharpen my vision and expand my impact. i.c.stars didn't just teach me, it challenged me, and I'm grateful for every moment of that challenge. For this award, I want to acknowledge the people who took a chance on me and helped me get here because I didn't do this alone and I don't know where I'd be without them. First, I want to acknowledge my Heavenly Father, of course, who woke me up every day and breathed life into my body. Without him, I don't even know where I'd be. He was with me every step of the way toward this goal, and I'm forever thankful for the blessings he gave me. Next, I want to thank my parents. They never stopped supporting me, no matter how absurd my dreams sounded. If I said I wanted to colonize space, they'd tell me I could do it. That kind of belief played a huge part in me even starting to achieve what was once considered impossible. I also want to acknowledge all the mentors who helped me when I didn't have anything to show, just motivation and promises to work hard. I'll never forget the chances they took by believing in me. And one last note to anyone facing the wall that no one has climbed yet: who's going to do it if not you? Who's going to take responsibility for completing your aspirations? The answer is no one. So now that you have your answer, what are you going to do about it?
So because I'm a goofball, I started thinking about that song, Bad Boys, what you gonna do when your vision comes for you? Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Anthony. Um, so my next colleague is somebody that I could always rely on. When I met her 25 years ago, so quiet in the back, I just used to stare at her to see whether or not she was still with me. Not only was she with me, she was quickly ahead of me. Mariella is committed to service and excellence. She embodies the spirit of those who shape our nation for the better. It does not surprise me that Mariella is winning the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award. Spoiler alert, she's already won a very notable prize. Come on, Mariella.
Uh, 25 years ago, I was just starting over. No tech background, no clear roadmap, only a big dream. Today, that dream has won the Nobel Peace Prize, transformed the healthcare and financial industries, and touched millions of lives across the world. Welcome, everyone. It feels great to be standing here today to accept this award. You have all been an integral part of my journey, and I am glad to be sharing this space with so many amazing people in this room. So much talent, leaders, change agents, and great minds all in one place is truly inspiring. It was such a distinction to be nominated for the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and even more of an honor to be the recipient of the award. To be standing in front of you and getting this personal recognition brings me so much joy and fulfillment. This year has felt so surreal, with Empower Solutions winning the Nobel Peace Prize earlier this year. It has brought me such satisfaction to know that as an organization, not only are we doing the work, but
but that the world recognizes our efforts and sees the impact and change we are creating. In a world where technology and compassion converge, Empower has redefined what's possible. I always strive to create something that would create positive change in the world. And as the CEO of Empower, I am proud of the solutions we have created for the ever changing challenges the world provides. In these last 25 years, we pioneered targeted CRISPR therapies, bringing once incurable diseases to the brink of extinction, enabling millions to live beyond a century in good health. Through the power of quantum computing, we democratized healthcare diagnostic systems. Sorry. By placing life-saving insights into the hands of anyone with a smartphone in order to be able to catch cancer earlier on. Our advancements, sorry. No. Thank you. No. Um, Something that could have helped my mother when she's battled um, with lung cancer in that time. Our advancements in artificial intelligence transform how resources are distributed, creating new systems of wealth generation that continue to uplift entire communities rather than the privileged few. And our global impact reaches even the farmlands of India, where we've empowered sugarcane farmers with AI tools to combat the effects of climate change and predict weather patterns, fight pests, and optimize harvests, turning sustainability into prosperity. Together, we've proven that innovation isn't just about technology. It's about building a more equitable, healthier, and hopeful world for all. But more importantly, we have unlocked opportunities for untapped talent, thus creating ripple effects that transform lives and communities. As some of you might know, my journey to tech wasn't traditional. My first passion was architecture. During my early years, I had the opportunity to be part of an internship program called ArchiWorks. As a young intern, I learned some lessons that I carry with me to this day, which have shaped and informed me how I and Empower create tech solutions. On the walls of ArchiWorks, there were quotes, one specifically by Daniel Burnham, the visionary who rebuilt Chicago after the Great Fire. Out of that challenge, there arose an opportunity to completely redesign the city with the latest technology and developments in city planning. With a blank canvas at his hands, he began rebuilding the city. His motto, now memorialized on that wall, was "Make no small plans. They have no power to stir men's souls." My time there taught me to dream big and to create innovative solutions that inspire and push the status quo. Then there was Cameron Sinclair. His rallying cry, "Design like you give a damn." Sinclair went on to create Architecture for Humanity, a nonprofit that provided innovative and inclusive approaches to design solutions. These ideas were not limited to architecture and structure. Rather, they were solutions that took people into account and helped solve humanitarian problems. He showed me that design isn't just about buildings. It's about solutions that respect humanity, fight bias, and create justice. His words taught me to see and use design as an agent of change. As designers, we have a responsibility to create good design for all, not just the few. Everyone deserves a just and equitable design approach to the challenges affecting their lives. What struck me the most was the way biased views carried through the design process and ultimately impacted the final product. We learned of a story based out of Chicago. It's now 2050, so I'm one, aging myself with the following bit of history. But also, some of you might not even be aware that these places existed, as many closed and were demolished. One case study seared into my soul: the redevelopment of Cabrini Green and the Robert Taylor homes. Residents had shared their pain. Buildings that felt more like prisons than homes. Residents dreamed of a brighter, open, welcoming space. Architects designed them, but developers decided that those designs were too good for low-income residents and instead turned them into government offices. That injustice lit a fire in me. I vowed to never create something that didn't serve the people it was meant to help. And I realized that to truly control the outcome, you must also be the developer. That vow became the seed of Empower Solutions. I set a goal for myself to be the founder of my own company one day, a company that would mimic the work that Architecture for Humanity and others were already doing in the world, and translate that into the tech field. Today, I am happy to reminisce on that journey and proudly say that is exactly what Empower became. Another defining chapter came during my walk along the Camino de Santiago. Those miles taught me grit, adaptability, and the importance of stillness. My Camino walk taught me the importance of taking the time to heal and to show up for ourselves fully and disconnect in order to focus and regroup. It reminded me that healing and growth are not luxuries, they are necessary. We don't need to travel across the world to find stillness. We can find it in our daily lives, and in that stillness, we discover our strength. I'm a caretaker at heart, and for a very long time, I struggled with self care. But it is one of the most important things. Health is wealth, and if we don't take care of ourselves, we cannot sustain the work of creating lasting change. Today, I take care of myself fully and make health a priority. It is a non negotiable. I am a testament that it is never too late to start again or to start at all. I had the opportunity to break into tech as a 42-year-old at a time when people are very well and established into their careers. I had many self doubts, but took the leap and applied to an internship that provided the vehicle for me to change my life. Through building skills in business, leadership, and technology, the program provided the foundation for this person standing before you today. At that time, I was undergoing a transition period, dealing with grief and the loss of my mother a few months before the internship began. But iron sharpens iron, and that is exactly what i.c.stars did with me. They strengthened my resolve to leave the world better than I found it and to give back in proportion to the opportunities I was afforded in my life. Winning the Medline Web App competition wasn't just a trophy, it was a launchpad. It gave me the skills, the confidence, and the team to turn an idea into a company that would change the world. I began my career at Medline, building a strong foundation in full stack development. As I solidified this foundation at work, I also returned to school to finish my degree in quantum computing and AI. It was then that I made a pivot into the consulting world so I could hone other important skills and be able to put my skills to the test as a full stack developer. In consulting, I was able to be at the forefront of tech and work with emerging technologies, such as AI, machine learning, blockchain technology, prompt engineering, and quantum computing. With those skills, I launched Empower Solution. Our first product was a success, generating millions in revenue and giving us the freedom to focus on passion projects that tackled social injustice and leveled the playing field by providing access to information for communities that had been left out of the conversation for a very long time. Standing here before you brings me such satisfaction because it lets me know that I have succeeded in accomplishing the mission I set out so many years ago. It seems like it was just in the blink of an eye that 25 years flew by. I look forward to the next 25 years and all the new innovations and changes that Empower will bring to the world. But none of this would have been possible without the people who believed in me. Thank you to i.c.stars for giving me the opportunity and believing in me so many years ago. Thank you for seeing what I could become before I saw it in myself. They laid the foundation for me to be able to stand here before you. To the women in my family who taught me resilience and risk-taking, your courage lives in me. To my mother, always watching from above and sending me her good vibes. I hope I continue to make you proud of the person I've become. And last but not least, to my wife, the love of my life, my chief sloth officer, Malvi. She has shared this life with me, every success, every struggle, and she has taken it all the hard times in stride. In truth, she is much of the reason why I'm able to stand here before you and receive this award. Malvi, this award belongs to you just as much as it belongs to me. Your unwavering belief carried us. You supported us financially, emotionally, and spiritually. You packed lunches, left notes, kept me focused, and made sure I got up each morning, which for the record was no easy task. Back then, I was not a morning person. Your love gave me the space to grow. You allowed me the space to be able to fully focus on my development and learning. Seldom in life do we get an opportunity like this to be able to fully immerse ourselves in something so fully. And she gave me that gift. That chance, which in turn changed our lives for the better. Your investment paid off, and today I get to see you thrive, leading the nonprofit arm of Empower, volunteering and living in joy. My love, thank you for being you and standing beside me all these years. I would love to be standing here again in another 25. Thank you for choosing this life with me. To everyone listening, whether you're at the start of your journey or in the middle of a pivot, it's never too late. It's never too late to begin again, to dream big, or to make an impact. I'll leave you with a quote from Bob Mowad that's followed me since childhood, one that still makes me laugh, but also makes me move. You can't make footprints on the sands of time by sitting on your butt. And who wants to make butt prints on the sands of time? Thank you all. Here's to the next 25 years and to never making butt prints on the sands of time.
Man, you know, I can't tell you. 25 years ago, I can still remember my envy when I saw the love notes in the lunchbox. You know, and they always say that behind every great leader is an incredible wife, and so your community is super important. And we thank you so much, families, for investing in our leaders. All right, moving into my next great leader. This leader, don't challenge him in a game of cards. Don't challenge him in chess. Don't challenge him in anything dealing with numbers. You've already lost before you even stepped into the room. Kevin thinks 3 moves ahead of criminals, making them formidable force in safeguarding information. So Kevin is being recognized for the CIA Top Notch Cyber Threat Analyst Award. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks for being here. Um, okay. It's hard to believe I'm sitting here, in sunny Arizona, reflecting on the long ride that started back in 2025. 25 years in the tech world. What a dream it has been. From my first role as a junior data analyst, learning the ropes and figuring out technology could solve real problems, to leading large scale projects as a senior system engineer and eventually becoming the director of technology. I'm sorry, and becoming the director of technology strategy. I've grown, learned, and pushed myself in ways I've never imagined. And now receiving the award of being the CIA top-notch cyber threat analyst. Uh, what an honor! It all started at i.c.stars and it was a turning point for me. Joining the program taught me how to be a leader, how to work as a as a part of a team, and how to give back. Those lessons stayed with me throughout my career as I became a project manager and later a technology strategist. I used those lessons to mentor young professionals, guide teams through complex challenges, and create solutions that made a real life difference for companies and communities. Some highlights of my career include leading across functional teams to launch an innovative cloud platform that served thousands of users, developing predictive analytics tools that helped organizations make smarter decisions, and building programs to bring tech education to underserved communities. Each role taught me something new and reminded me that success is not just about what you achieve; it's about how you help others succeed along the way. Of course, my greatest achievement has been my family, preparing my son and daughter for life, helping them grow into kind, capable, and driven individuals has been my proudest work. Retirement gives me the chance to focus on self-growth, continue giving back to community, and enjoying life in Arizona while staying connected to the cause I care about.
I want to give my deepest thanks to Jesus Christ, whose guidance and grace have carried me through every obstacle and blessing. And I'll leave it with this thought. Everybody wants to know what I'll do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know. Thank you.
That's the second round.
Oh.
Don't care. Brush your shoulders off. Am I dating myself? Brush your shoulders off. So our next leader is the kind of person that when you strap in for the ride, you better be ready to go because it's a rocket. This colleague sparks transformation wherever he goes, igniting ideas that lead to meaningful change and lasting change. Without further ado, I want to recognize S.C. Rubio for the Visionary Catalyst Award.
Is it better to be feared or respected? And I say, is it too much to ask for both? With that in mind, tonight I stand before you not just as an artist or entrepreneur, but as someone who has learned that the journey is never a straight line. It's a winding road full of unexpected turns, hard-won lessons, and moments of grace. My name is ST, and it's an honor to be considered for the Visionary Catalyst Award. An honor I hope to share with partners like the Union League Club, i.c.stars, and the Art Institute of Chicago. Orgs that, like me, believe the power of art, community, and transformation. The Catalyst Award isn't just about personal achievement. It's about being the spark that ignites change. Forgot my lighter today. Using creativity and conviction to open doors for others. I am a CPS proud Chicago student. Grew up without a dad, mom single, and there was extra programs after school that helped alleviate those things. Imagine bridging worlds between art and technology and to uplift the communities that raised me here in the city of Chicago. This award to me is kind of like a celebration party because it's more than just partnerships or raising money or bringing in cool people. It's with friends like the institutions that raised me and hopefully most of you. Every mentor, friend, and collaborator who's walked with this road with me, thank you. I'm older now. 25 years ago, I spent a lot of time with my colleagues, made great memories, memories that still linger till this day. I could go name by name and tell you exactly what I think so special about my colleagues and the people I call friends. With God's grace and a lot of hard work, Wolf has become a catalyst of hope. Yes, money is good. Yes, we make money. Yes, concise is powerful. Yes, Mars wants to be a politician. Wolf gave $250,000. Jasmine and I work with Under Armour within the app. So it's things like that that create future jobs for kids coming into the workforce. My job, they call me Da Vinci, but in reality, I'm a chief visionary officer. I'm an artist more than I am an entrepreneur. I do love money, but I love art more. Building bridges between my friends, artists, technologists, and all these beautiful communities around the city of Chicago, Wolf would not be where it is today. Wolf ended up partnering with Union League Club. Now we have about 20 million in the bag, thanks to partners like Under Armour, NBA, NFL, and so on. We fund art education. That is key. That's what we do. We come into CPS and we say, we don't need your money. We don't need your artists. We have artists. We're here to teach you art. Now, we just recently signed a contract with the Art Institute. That was my bread and butter, to be honest with you. Because not only did we were able to create new voices, we were able to give new voices a shot. We created pathways for youth to turn their creativity into careers. Something that when I was in i.c.stars 25 years ago was hard balancing internships and associates and clients and friends and family and everything in between. Getting here wasn't easy. It took conviction, hella conviction. The kind that kept me pitching NFTs, art, when nobody believed, and hustling on Cottage Grove right there, Southside Chicago, when all I had was a vision and 2 shirts to sell, 10 a pop. Creativity, turning obstacles into great opportunities, whether launching Wolf, making sure that Concise has their bag, making sure that some of my friends are okay, painting murals all over the city, designing tech solutions for nonprofits, and resilience, learning from every setback, every no, and coming back stronger. Collaboration. As I said, the Union League Club means a lot to me. Why? They raised me when my father left. They stepped up and they said, we'll raise you. You don't have to worry about shit. We got you. All we ask is your loyalty. To this day, I am loyal. I am a loyal heart. That's the crew, their little clique. That's what we call ourselves, loyal hearts. Merit School of Music became a prominent partner. We are working with Yo-Yo Ma to make sure that there's also classes being held to make sure that those that don't like art and those that like music can play music. And most importantly, gratitude. I recognize that throughout this journey, there's been a lot of people who've lifted me up, my family, my mentors, my friends, and every Wolf associate who's here with me today. Now, what social challenge am I addressing? Well, it's clear. Too many young people in our city lack access to resources, education, and creative outlets they deserve. Through Wolf, and with the support of partners, old and new, I'm determined to change that. And we're building a future for every kid here in the city of Chicago so that they can see themselves as artists, innovators, and cool people like me. Gratitude. As I said, I owe everything to my family, my mother. If you think I'm gangster, you should meet her. Miriam Ibarra, my siblings, Austin Manari, Omar Jacob, and Mia, my baby sister, Azaneth. To my mentors, Cosmin Lucaci. He is more than a mentor. He is a friend, a big brother, a confidant. When I fuck up, he tells me you're fucking up. And Margaret Mitchell, a mentor, a friend, someone who I can call my second mom, and I talk to her about all the girls I like. And to my friends, Carl Arkebauer. That dude is, we're not blood, but he's my brother. Chris Lucaci, Cosmin's brother. Scott Michael Herman Brady, my former art director. Jay Henley, my friend who I call a dad on the South Side. He looks out after me. No matter what, he has my back every single day, 24/7, whenever I call. And a friend who I met at i.c.stars, Wanda Morgan. To every Wolf associate from Cottage Grove, Union League Club, and the Union League Boys and Girls Club, Mayor School of Music, and every corner of the city, and to Tom Bracy, another cool dude who handed me Robert Frost poetry and taught me that sometimes the road less traveled is the one that leads you home. There are more names, more stories, more gratitude than I can ever fit into one speech, but you all know who you are because I talk to you every single day. Now, I'll leave you with this, just like my mentors and my friends and everyone who's touched me deeply within my heart and my soul. My family are my friends. So with this being said, 25 years ago, I thought, why the hell am I doing this? 25 years later, I'm grateful to God that I met every single person. Beyond beyond this moment, beyond what we shared, what I shared, I want you to remember this. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. Thank you, icstars, for giving me the chance to walk this road. Thank you, Union League Club, for having my back. Thank you, the Art Institute, and all other partners, friends, and family members. And thank you for giving me the chance to walk this road and for believing in the power of conviction, creativity, and community. Let's keep building together. Thank you.
Ariella, no, I'll tell you. So, wow. Well, with that, we can see that people of speeches. So I ask you guys to just close your eyes as we warp back to 2025. You just gotta chill, no cereal. Okay. So as we warp back into 2025 and we've arrived from that long ride, I must say the future looks bright. In the future, we've got stakeholders that are going to bring back the culture of what it means to be young, black, and in Chicago. We have visionaries that are dead set and focused on keeping us safe and secure. We've got people who demand equity and systemic change in healthcare. We've got people who are going to literally make America the place to be and grow. We've got leaders who we can ensure that even if they're just some guy, that we clearly see the impact that they make. We've got leaders coming in that are going to ensure that we utilize tech to ensure that not one person is without healthy food for the table and for their brothers and sisters to feast upon. We've got people who are dead set on ensuring that people can walk this earth without feeling unsecured and unsafe. We've got a bright future. So, a few weeks ago, our interns were assigned the task to write a dream. And at that time, it was hectic. They were like, dreams? What is this? This dream? Wait, how many words does it have to be? What are the boxes I need to tick? Who's this lady on the phone? Why do we have to do this with every city? Why now?
I often talk about the beauty of college is that it's an opportunity to completely be selfish and invest in self. The beauty of IC Stars is that we force it by any means necessary by locking you in a building for 11 hours to force self investment. If it wasn't for that, you all would do your internship in DoorDash and babysit, you know, and work at the local convenience store, maybe even a full time job, and you would not be able to give to yourself 100% of the time. It is because of me that you get to say, I cannot help you with the dishes right now. It is because of me that you say to your loved ones, right now, I know that it's a virtual day, but it's virtual to you. It's locked in for me. It's because it is my job to guardian for them something that they've never been able to do, which is to spend 100% of themselves on themselves for the duration of this internship. Because without that time spent, the dreams that you just witnessed will not come true. I hope that you understand that in this time, as we take you through Wellness Wednesdays with facilitators that do Reiki, we've got a woman here today who helps with wellness activities like that, that you understand that health is wealth. And to invest in self is to invest in a very bright future, as Mariella reminded us about, right? Or like Jocelyn reminded us that these parks are not just fitness centers, but basically a declaration of war against unhealthy bodies and lifestyles in the communities that we grow up in. The reason why we ask you to take the time to dream is because we've been told dreaming is a waste of time. We've been told to get real and get your head out of the clouds. We've been told don't quit your good government job. Think about your pension. Well, I'm telling you to dream. As Caitlin reminded us that people have been asking her to play small, but she's opening up her own damn doors today. Right? I invite you all to open these doors to dream dreams because people with dreams are people with great vision. You are the future, and the future is bright. And as my great song When played, and I did my little jig, is because every single time that I get to witness the bright, bright future we have, every time my children get to pitter patter around here, over here, we understand what the future looks like for them, we all win. Thank you, everybody. Good night.